going on, everybody? This is another episode of the BeBall podcast with the Defensive Player of the Year. Nelson Hanson, what's up, bro?
What's going on, man? How you been?
Man, I'm good, bro. Had a couple struggles today with training, but just a little bump in the road. Don't mean nothing, man. Just something to add to my book, add to my story. But what's up with
you? Man, get ready to make a NCAA tournament run, my boy. Trying to what we can do. Trying to go as deep as we can. And happen, man, So it's winter go home time now. So that's what I've been on, just trying to stay locked in, stay focused, make our season last as long as possible. So that's what I've been on.
I already know, man. Like, I'm just waiting for the episode when we come on here and just like, what's up, y'all? Nelson got something to tell y'all. And he just flashed it off, man. Or you had a trophy behind you or something, man. We just gonna just let you flex the whole episode, man, and just tell us how great the season was for you, man. So that's the goal, hopefully. So that's what we're looking for, man. But for today's episode, we will be it's gonna be interesting talk, man. I don't know exactly how to get into it, but we both of us have noticed that the NBA has been lacking a little bit when it comes to the veteran department. There's plenty of youthful guys or plenty of young guys about our age and younger, and which is cool. You need youth. You always need that little bit. But when it comes down to a great team and great championship teams, the common thread that you see is they have the leadership and through veteran experience. Certain guys, they might not play all the time, they might not play as much, but their experience gives them a nod and an edge that you can't scout, you can't replicate, you can't do without, really. That's something that you have to have for part of your team. And so when you look at a lot of teams that have a lot of talent and potential, and sometimes you look at what's missing. They have the great coach, they have the great team, they have all these great things, but they just can't get over that hump. They just collapse at certain times. And I think a part of that is to do with the veteran presence that isn't there. So just in your eyes, man, like when we talk about this, man, like what comes to mind? Like, do you see it? Like, of course I see it as a negative thing, but do you see it as a huge thing? Like, do you see it as an easy fix? Do you see it as a thing that's just the way it's going to be? Like, what comes to mind when you think about the veteran presence in the NBA?
Udonis Haslem.
OG.
OG of OGs. But excuse me. But in all seriousness, I think about like the OGs in the NBA. I really think about just older guys who might not necessarily be very good. Like they can more than certainly somebody more talented than them at this point in their career to come play or take their spot. So, but being an OG or being a veteran presence is something that they provide that you can't get from anywhere else. Like, and Udonis Haslem is just like one of the last examples of that. Like, just being a veteran presence. Like, not necessarily a good player. Like, can they get a better backup center than Udonis Haslem? Yes, like, of course. But, I mean, he's been a Heat for 20 years now. Like, how long he been in the league?
It's 03, so almost 20 years.
He came in with Bron and them.
Mm-hmm.
So, him and Bron, the same age. Or not the same age. He older than Bron because he went to college and stuff.
Yeah.
So, that's just one of them things, man. Like, of course they can get somebody better, but his veteran presence, and then not only that, but what he's already done for the team. Like, he's been on the team his whole career. He can teach young guys things that other guys can't. Coaches can't. Management can't. Things of that nature, like their peers can't. He can teach you what it means to really be a pro, and he can teach you what like the culture of the team is about, what certain things mean, and their team can't. Like it's just one of those things. Like, you can't replace that Like, and it's obvious that the organization find what he does more valuable than talent. Like, they can replace somebody with better. They can replace him with better talent. Value his what he brings to the table more than just overall talent. So that's really what I think about when I think about OGs in the NBA is just somebody who might not necessarily be the best at their position anymore, but brings added value with their experience and knowledge of the game and the organization.
Yeah. And I just feel like when it comes to that, there are so many teams that, and I really don't understand why they miss this, but they do. And they just don't have a veteran presence on there. And although the Heat haven't won since LeBron and them left because they just haven't, crossed that threshold. They got to the playoffs, not the playoffs. They got the championship a couple years ago, but they haven't won a championship, which is the ultimate goal since LeBron left. But they're one of the few teams that got it right, and they have a guy that has a veteran presence in the locker room. And the reason that's so important is because more than just the NBA being a business, that's you have so many young guys and so many people who, to be honest, they're still boys. Like you got 17, 18, some 19-year-old guys, as rookies coming into the league. And you don't understand what it's like to really be out on your own. You don't understand what it's like to have all this money. There's no class. They put you through little stuff in the rookie emporium, I think is what it's called, where they talk to you about cash management and how to handle certain stuff. But nothing hit harder than the guy you seeing pretty much every day giving you game about this is how you handle this contract, this is how you handle this in the locker room, this is how you handle that, this is how you handle that. The day-to-day life of an NBA player can really only be taught by another NBA player. And if everybody is in my same age bracket, or you might be a year or two older than me, do you really know that much more than me? Like, of course you have certain stuff, but after a year, once I'm past my rookie season, do you really know that much more than me? No. Versus Udonis Haslem, who been in the game, like you said, almost 20 years, or about 20 years now. How many stories does he have? How many stories has he told? He done played with D-Wade, Shaq, Antoine Walker, Gary Payton, White Chocolate, LeBron, Bosh. He has Ray Allen. He has so many stories. He can be like, Young Buck, let me sit down and talk to you, man. Like, you need to go this way. This is what you need to do. And you're going to listen because of his resume and his presence and his authority, not just in the locker room and on the team, but in the city. I done heard stories about Bam talking about how it's not just in a game, but like he go out around the city and Udonis Haslem has a name out there, so he good because he's under UD's wing. And so think about in the other states and other cities where if you had that presence, you know what I mean? So you avoid a lot of trouble just because my OG is Udonis Haslem, my OG is whoever, and the NBA needs that because you avoid a lot of certain trouble because you have somebody in their ear and just like, yo, you don't need to be doing that, man. Like, avoid this. Oh, by 1 o'clock hit, bro, go ahead and get out the club because ain't nothing good for you in there. Go club, have fun, but this how you need to handle yourself. Or go out and do this, but this how you need to handle things. And the NBA needs more of that because you got an OG in your corner trying to lead you the right way. Because why would I see you go wrong when we on the same train going the same direction? So I feel like they need that for so many more reasons outside of basketball. Of course, basketball is important too, but just outside of basketball when it comes to life, you need that presence there too.
Yeah, that's definitely true, man. So, and like you said, no one knows better than somebody who's already been where you've been or where you are. So, like, I'm sure players, young players, especially in Miami, because like guys, they got young guys like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson and guys like that, like Bam Adebayo. They're young, like young stars. Like they could possibly be all stars in the future, and like they benefit from Udonis Haslem more than anybody. I'm sure because it's like, man, I'm 22. I'm pretty sure Tyler Hero like same age as me, or like might be 21 or like 20, because he got drafted like 3-4 years ago. I want to say. So me and him around the same age. Uh, I can't imagine what it's like being a pro at that younger age. Like I've only been in college this long. Like I don't know nothing about being a pro, nothing about getting paid millions, nothing about traveling all over the country playing. I don't know what that's like. And so I know for sure if I was one of them, I'd take everything Udonis Haslem said to me as law. Like, I mean, not even just him, like Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, those guys, like they worry me some too, obviously. But like Udonis Haslem, who's been in the league 20 years, I know him asking him, like, bro, how do I be in the league 20 years? Like,
Yep.
you still in the league, like you're getting paid, you gotta get in the game. Like, I'm trying to be that. How you lasting this long? Your body ain't tired? Like, are you hurting or anything? Like, you good? Do you think you can actually play good minutes if you needed to? How I stay in the game this long? So, like, man, it's a shame that he one of the few in the league right now. Like, I really can't think of too many like veteran players. Not just somebody who's been in the league a long time, but like veteran players who have been around the block a few times and things like that. Like guys like LeBron and KD and Steph, obviously they're veterans, but they've been in the league a long time now. Like they all been in the league for over 10 years now. But like I'm talking about a guy who then been a starter, he done been a good player, he done been a role player, and he been a bench player. I'm talking about guys like that. Bron always been a superstar. Steph always been a superstar. KD always been a superstar. Well, not always, but they've been superstars most of their career. Like Udonis Haslem ain't never been no All-Star. Talking to a guy like Duncan Robinson, who probably ain't gonna never be no All-Star. Like he can really give him valuable advice. Like, hey, do this with your money. You're not gonna make this much money. Like make sure you do this with your endorsements. Make sure your agent do this. Tell your agent this much that you want this and this. Like stuff like that somebody like your coach or something is not gonna tell you. That's my thing, man. So it's a shame that he kind of like a dying breed in the league right now.
Yeah, like the last guy I can remember being of that caliber was Jerry Dudley, because LeBron and them were hurt. They wanted him to come back with the Lakers, and he didn't for whatever reason. I don't know if it was a Lakers call. No, it wasn't Lakers because they ended up not signing him when they traded him. Whatever, he went to the Mavs. He was like he thought he was coming back, but they don't realize that guys like that are the real glue guys. Not on the court, who like a Draymond Green can do a little bit of everything, and they just, allow everybody to shift in their correct role, and they don't have to worry about certain stuff. It's about locker room glue guys that LeBron finna go off and fight Cools last year or whenever that the year was, but you don't know that Jerry Dillon stepped in like, "Bron, chill out, bro. I got you." And next thing you know, they're fine going out to dinner. Or Malik Monk messing up in the locker room this year and he just ain't doing right. And AD finna slap him. He's like, "Yo, chill out, bro. I got it." He just playing too much. I got you, man. Like, you don't know how many times the locker room finna flip inside their head and the coaches ain't in there, but you got somebody like a glue guy, a vet locker room glue guy to step in and be like, diffuse the whole situation. Or you got like Kobe, he's snapping on everybody. Like, you know how Kobe was. He was just going off, man. You such and such and such ain't playing right, man. Y'all busters, man. Y'all ain't playing on my level. He going off. He just leave. And he speak up and be like, man, he right, but I feel like y'all just not playing hard, man. I know y'all tired, man. I understand we didn't play back to backs this week or whatever. He's basically like they basically the mom of the team. It's just like you need that, bro. Like dad finna go off and snap on you. Mama come behind you, give you a little pat on the back and a hug. Like you need that. Even on bad teams when you're losing, because hey guys, man, I know we struggling right now, but let's just figure out on how to do this right, man. Let's get ourselves back on the right course. Now, You know how many times your coach might have said something and it just going without the other. Like, he respect coach all day, but this certain teammates speak up and say certain things. He could have said literally verbatim what the coach said, but just like, dang, bro, you right, man. Like, we ain't been playing hard, bro. You right, man. I should be a little more focused. Like, when I got you, man. And then you go out and perform better. Like, that's literally how lethal and important those guys are. But when you don't have those glue guys and the mothers of the locker room there, you're missing a lot. And there's so many little minor cuts along the team chemistry that happens that don't get manned up and healed because you don't have the right people there to actually man them up. So when you're missing guys like that, that's where the bad teams remain bad because they have small issues and they linger and sit there and it just keep getting worse. But the good teams, they have those issues and those fights, but you know how to bend them, and over time, you still winning. So that's a thing that you can point to and be like, that's why this team keeps winning. That's why the team keeps losing, because they don't have this glue guy or somebody to come behind and kiss the boo-boos of the sensitive players on the team, or however you want to talk about it, and make sure guys are okay. So when you're missing that Udonis Haslam or the Jared Dudleys of the team who are able to pull everybody together, you don't have a collective team together. You just have individuals in the same pace, in the same place. So
Right.
if NBA teams can't find that guy to help them get back on track, it's going to be tough to really figure out how to win. Because you might have all the talent in the world, you might have the right pieces, and it could be that team, but you don't have that glue guy to stick the locker room back together. You can't go that far without them.
Yeah, I feel it, bro. Like that's definitely got truth to it. Cause like I said, like LeBron and KD and guys like that who are veterans, they're still superstars. Like, are they leaders on the team? Yeah. But they're not necessarily the glue, like you said. Like being the best player and being the number one option or whatever, also as being the glue of the team. Because sometimes it's like I'm sure, like do I think Bron then probably put his arm around some guys like, hey man, you all right? This like you just need to do this and this and this. Like, yeah, I'm sure he did some stuff like that, of course. But at the same time, Bron's still gonna be that guy like on the court that's gonna be like, hey, do this, pass it right here, cut through this, whatever, yelling at guys. He gonna be the same person. And then somebody like LeBron or somebody not laughing, but yelling at you, you gonna be like, oh man, like I let Bron down, this and this and this. Like I know you probably heard LeBron talk about how he said he got some of the worst body language of any NBA superstar. Like Rondo, when he was with the Lakers, I remember them talking about it. And when they were talking about him playing with Bron and stuff, they said he told Bron he need to work on his body language because he said, man, these young guys see everything you do. You know, Rondo one of them OGs in the game now. He one of them veterans. And you're like, man, them guys make a mistake, drop your head and like look disappointed. They feel that. Like, oh man, I let Bron down. Understand who you is to these guys. Like they 23, 24. They've been watching you all their life. Now they on the same team with you. Anything you do, they see that. Like they watch you. And so that's why you need somebody like Rondo, because Bron ain't thinking about that in the moment. Bron ain't thinking about let me not look, let me be, stay positive, stay upbeat for these guys. I don't want to hurt their feelings. He's not thinking like that. He just mad at the game, like part of the game. But Rondo, vet, he looking at everything. He's seeing everything. He's like, oh, Kuz messed up. Brian looked mad, looked disappointed, and now Kuz disappointed in himself. Then next shot he get Kuz get a good open shot. He airball because he nervous about what LeBron gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes somebody like Rondo to realize that's happening. Like tell Bron, like, hey, you need to watch your body language around these guys, like, or dealing with these guys. So that's part of it, man. Like it's hard for superstars or star players to be in that role of being the star player and the glue of the team. Like it's hard to be both. Like Because at a certain point, you're gonna be mad. Like that's just part of the game is being mad or being frustrated about certain things. That's part of the game. Like you can't stop that. But at the same time, it's like somebody that's like you said, the glue guy could be the mama to the daddy. Like Bron might snap on somebody or might look a certain way when you make a mistake and you feel it, but somebody like a Rondo might come to you like, hey man, you good, bro. Just next play. We got to go on to the next play. This. So all of that is like super important. So and that's just something like I think GMs are starting to not appreciate it as much. And I think that's partially why, there's a scarce amount of OGs in the game. It's a scarce amount of Udonis Haslems and Rajon Rondos and Jared Dudley. I think GMs are starting to value talent more than knowledge and wisdom, which might not necessarily be a bad thought process for somebody who ain't never played basketball. But if you've played basketball and you've been in these locker rooms or been in, been on the team, been in these situations, you know how valuable guys with wisdom are to guys who are new or young. Like, for all we know, Udonis Haslam then stop somebody from making a terrible mistake, derail their career. For all we know.
You gotta think too, bro. They in Miami. Like this ain't Idaho. This ain't Alabama. I love Alabama, right. But we ain't Miami, dog. Like it's Miami. That's all I'm saying. It's Miami.
Exactly. So like they can get into plenty of things, and like who knows like what kind of knowledge or wisdom like he's giving them. Like he's just giving them game on like certain things, like or maybe like certain people to not hang around, not be around, like that. Like you never know. So I think GMs and owners and stuff are starting to they're in a point now where they don't value that as much. They rather get the most talent possible for their team, but they don't really realize like the value of an OG on the team. So they end up not having one. And I mean, do you absolutely need one to win a championship? Probably not. It's not an absolute necessity. But many championship teams have had them, especially recently. Like just going back in recent history, I don't know about the Bucks having an OG player, but you still got Warriors with Iggy. Iggy definitely an OG in the game. The Lakers with Rondo. Before the Lakers and the Warriors. Oh, and the Lakers had Dudley too. Go back to Cleveland. I feel like in Cleveland it was I really feel like Kevin Love was kind of the OG in the game. Because Kevin Love was a little bit older than LeBron and D-Wade. Not D-Wade, but LeBron and Kyrie. And he still is in the game. Because remember K-Love was the man in Minnesota. He probably was that guy in Cleveland. Because now he's the third option. He ain't necessarily gotta go crazy. Still like he respected. And I feel like he part of that OG crew now in Cleveland. And so like recent history has shown us like there's a little bit of value in it. Like can't count it out having somebody that understands your system more than anybody, understands the culture, understand how things should be done, and how to conduct yourself as a pro. So you can't really put a price tag on it.
That's my next point because I think owners see a price tag on that, and it's like, why am I paying this guy $4 million to sit on the bench and do nothing? He's not talented. He's not good at what he does anymore. So why am I paying? Why am I wasting money on him when I could put that $4 million with Jalen Green and Christian Woods? Let me put this young talent together instead of putting Udonis Haslam with them. Like that makes sense. That makes, like you said, it makes more sense on paper to pay for talent that can actually play or develop this talent that can actually play rather than wasting money on these young guys. And they don't understand how, man, you got this kid out. He's literally a kid. Like these are kids, bro. Like I still consider myself a kid sometimes. So you about 5-6 years younger than me, talking about you a rookie in the league, bro. Like, you don't know nothing about this life, man. But get somebody up in that's 35, 36, been in the league for a couple years, that done seen some greats and been, he doing something right if you're in the league, like you said about Udonis Haslem. So if I got this guy on my team and I know he can guide these guys and he has the right voice to tell them what they need to know, not only are you going to have talented players, but more than likely going to stay healthy. You're getting a longer return of investment because they plan an extra 2, 3, 4 years at the back end of their career because they're doing the right stuff now. They're going to avoid trouble because, once again, you having the right person in their ear saying, I know the city. Like, Jonas Haslam is from Florida, I think. He played college ball at Florida, so he knows the city and everything very well. He's probably running the whole state. He might be mayor low-key. I don't know who the real mayor is, but he might be like the low-key mayor. He might be the Sasuke to whoever's Naruto. He like low-key running things for real, for real.
The Shadow Hokage.
The Shadow Hokage of Florida, bro. Like, or the governor. Like, he's something out there, man. So, but you having a better investment now in this young talent because you have somebody guiding them with the voice that they can appeal to. Because Juwan Howard is a perfect example of somebody in the locker room for the Heat locker room. Like, LeBron listening to them. D-Wade listening to him. Juwan Howard said, what? All right, bet. I got you. Mm-hmm. That's before Udonis Haslem became who he is now. So that's when UD was in that transition from player to more of the vet guy. So Derek Fisher was that guy on the court where Kobe was snapping on the team. D Fish come around and be like, hey man, Kobe. So just do this, do that, and you good. You need that guy. But owners don't want to pay that anymore because he's not even playing. So why am I wasting money on that? And GMs don't necessarily see the benefit of it because the owner's on my back. He's talking about money and pay cuts and stuff. So I'm just like, all right, got to cut this guy and this guy and this guy. Oh, I need more talent, so I'm gonna pay this guy and this guy. But like you said, you can't pay for that wisdom and value that they're giving. And I feel like in college ball probably has the best system set up for it because you're gonna have seniors and juniors. All you need to do is have the same seniors and juniors grow up in the same system. So if you have the smart leadership and veteran presence of the seniors and juniors, all right, guys, for my freshmen and sophomores or my transfers, I'm gonna let Nelson lead y'all through the workouts or whatever, and I'm gonna sit over here and chill, basically. Guess what, Nelson? You in charge of practice now, or at least in charge of warm-ups. So you know exactly what I'm looking for as a coach. You know exactly what the orders finna be. You know exactly what the tempo, what the energy should be for this. And I trust you because you've displayed this veteran presence because you've been here for 4 years. And I can trust you with this. So guess what? I don't have to overcoach and overdo too much because, or they get tired of hearing my voice because they're hearing yours now. So when you're in college, I think college has a better system of that because you have that. You literally have to go through the ranks of freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and you have some fifth-year seniors and stuff. So the pros need to look at that model and say, I need to keep a guy in the system for as long as possible. Like, it's only like that's part of the reason why certain teams keep winning year and night. Not just because they're the most talented, they have the best players, but because the small intrinsic things that you can't really point a finger to all the time, they have. And so in college, you can get by with having the most talented young guys with all 5-star freshmen. You can get away with that. John Calipari did that. Duke did that. You can get away with that. But at some point in time, you gotta have these bets. And so I think if they adopted somewhat of this college system where, all right, I'm trying to lock this guy in. He might not be a superstar. He's gonna be a great role player, and I'm locking him in to be that veteran presence and teach these guys how to be pros. And if more teams did that, I'm not saying they're gonna start winning championships, but you end up seeing a better product as far as better players and a better product as far as a better team. And overall, the NBA be better. So I just think that if they can adapt that mindset a little bit quicker and at least go back to that mindset, you'll start seeing a better result overall.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Like, it's just something like it's a dying breed in the league now. Like, maybe guys are retiring sooner, or maybe they're being forced to retire. I don't know. But like, I do think it affects winning. So this is something I want to do with you real quick. So I'm gonna throw out a couple teams. When I thought like they're some of the better teams in the league right now. And when I throw out the teams, you tell me who you think the OG presence on their team is. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
The Memphis Grizzlies.
Even Adams, I have to guess.
I was thinking the same thing. He been in the league for a while, dirty work kind of player, come in and do his job.
Yeah.
I was thinking kind of like that too. All right. The Philadelphia 76ers.
Uh, shoot, low key, it's Joel Embiid. He probably been the longest, but Tobias Harris comes to mind, but I don't think he'll be it either.
Harden there now. He probably the oldest player they got now.
Yeah, that's another problem too, man. You got guys that are not even 30 or they early 30s trying to be the vet, man. Like you can't have that.
Exactly.
76. I have to look at the roster and see. I'd probably say Tobias, man. It's the only thing I can think of right now.
All right. The Phoenix Suns.
Besides CP3, Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder. I go for Jay Crowder. I definitely think it's CP3 though above everybody. I think he both. And then he kind of can defer to Devin Booker. Like Devin Booker, you could consider Devin Booker their best player.
He is.
So he don't. Yeah. So you never have to look.
I say CP3 my guy, so I'm being objective about that.
Right. So Devin Booker being the best player on their team, CP3 can be that guy. Like, hey, he could be the glue, and he could be somebody that everybody can rally around. And he I feel like CP is their leader and their most valuable player, but Devin Booker is their best player.
Because his personality, he not a glue guy type of guy. He's gonna get on everybody but, so he can't be the glue guy. Like as much as he probably fits that role, he's the daddy in the group. I'm kicking everybody but, I'm taking names. Hey man, what the crap you doing over there, bro? Get your butt over here and we doing this thing the right way. Like, so I think Jay Crowder probably is that locker room guy to be like, man, CP, he just, he on tonight, bro. So let's just get through it, man. Like, just do this, man, and we'll make it through the night, bro. I got you. So I feel like Jay Crowder probably is that guy that's got a mama the group and baby group through CP3s. I remember somebody called a temper tantrum. That kind of pissed me off, bro, because just because he's short, bro, that kind of pissed me off. Man. Don't call it a temper tantrum, bro. Like, it's disrespectful to us little guards, man.
Little guards. All right. Last one. So, the Toronto Raptors.
We'll say Dragic, but he got the boot. Is Valanciunas on that team?
Yeah, he's still there. No, I'm sorry. Is Valanciunas still there?
He got moved around so many times. I forgot who he played for now.
Man, now I gotta look it up because
I feel out of touch with the rosters, bro. I used to know everybody, man. It's terrible.
Man, days have passed us by, ain't it?
Man, his business life then took me out of touch, bro. When I tell you I used to know everybody, bro.
I know. I used to say way.
All right, looking at the roster real quick. This is tough. Like looking at the roster, we don't have anybody, man. Thaddeus Young, that's the guy. That's the vet.
I could definitely say Thaddeus Young is the vet. Thaddeus Young been around for a long time.
I was gonna say
play for the Pelicans.
Yeah, because he was in that trade for Steven Adams. Yeah. I was gonna say Fred VanVleet, even though he's a young guy too. So it would hurt me to say that because I don't know if he's 30 yet. I think he's still on the 30. So he can't be that veteran leadership guy. But that's another thing, like I said before, it's so many guys that they've been in the league only 7 years, 8 years, and they're considered that veteran presence now. I can tell you how many guys that I heard in interviews be like, I guess you consider such and such a vet because he's been in the league more than me. I mean, he's 4 years in the league, bro. Like, that's not a vet for real, for real. Like, not an
He got more
OG.
experience.
He just somebody with more experience than you. Like if I got hired in the company today and you got hired last week, you got more experience than me. You're not necessarily a vet. You just got more experience than me. So that's what the NBA is now, man. It's just some young guys leading younger guys. Like you just have the blind leading the blind, basically.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's hard to win like that, bro. Like I just know a little bit more than you. Like I got an iPhone 8 when you got an iPhone 6, but the 13 is right there. Like you can shuffle up a little more money to sit there and get this 13 that can help you versus being cheap and sticking with this 6 or this 8. Like that's what a lot of owners are doing, man. So if they I think the cheapness is a big factor in it, especially when you're losing. You don't want to sit here and pay guys to lead you to lose, but you gotta shove up that money, man. Like it's worth it in the long run. So that's why you need basketball guys back in these basketball seats, man. It's too many owners and GMs and stuff that don't understand this gray area of business of basketball that you don't learn in school. You can't learn through business. You have to really grow up in basketball, bro. Like neither of us have been in the league, but it make complete sense to us, bro. It's just basketball knowledge that you have. I've never been a star player. I've never been in a college setting like that, but I understand the game enough to understand you need this veteran presence. So the GMs and owners got to get it right and stop letting the blind lead the blind and having these young guys leading younger guys. Like that don't make sense. You need a mentor to guide you through this valley that only they understand. It's dope to have a coach like a Steve Kerr or a Doc Rivers or a T. Lue, who's a former player and they understand. But once again, once you cross over from sitting at the bench as a player to crossing over sitting at the bench as a coach, your voice automatically changes, bro. Like automatically.
All right.
I heard so many NBA players. I heard so many NBA players say that junk, bro. Like I rock with you as player, as a vet, like Juwan Howard. Like example I keep going back to. He was literally a former player, crossed over and took one seat over or one row behind him to an assistant coach, and his voice in the locker room ain't the same. So I think that's probably why Udonis Haslem hasn't crossed over yet. He just likes the lifestyle of the NBA player versus a coach. So if NBA teams can figure out, or the losing teams can figure out that this is the missing piece that you might need to build a culture and build a good foundation for my team to grow on, then I don't see why they would stop losing at this point. You can have talent, but this talent finna be running through a lot of headaches and a lot of bumps in the road because you don't have a good driver in that seat. So until the NBA or certain NBA teams can change that, I don't see the youth lasting like the guys we grew up with. Because they all had the OGs, man. They weren't coming to the league just getting stuff handed to them like they are now. No offense. But you had to earn that stuff, bro. You had to earn his respect as a man, his respect as a player. He had to earn the ball, not just going to give you the ball. So all the stuff that you had to earn and you had to fight for is kind of handed to players now. And you're just giving him the ball and it's like, here, play through it, which isn't bad, but I can help you skip a couple steps of playing through it by going, hey, man, go talk to UD. Hey, man, young buck, stop doing that, bro. All right, cool. Boom, problem solved. So,
hey, man, stop doing that.
That's simple. I promise you, bro. Like, sometimes it's really that simple, man. You have the right person in your ear that you respect. Hey, B, stop doing that. All right, I got you. All right, cool. You want to see that again? And so the NBA needs that, bro. I think it's really that simple. I really think it is. Man, it's not every situation, but sometimes it's really that simple.
So I pulled up some of these rosters. See who the real vets is that I was telling you about. So for the 76ers, the oldest guy on the team is none other than Paul Millsap. He looking like the guy right now for them. So Paul Millsap probably the OG for the Sixers, even though he hadn't been with the Philadelphia 76ers that long. He's looking like the OG for them. For the Grizzlies, would you believe that nobody on the Grizzlies is over 30? Nobody on the Grizzlies is even 30. I actually think they're the youngest team in the league. But
They are.
Adams might be the guy for them. I ain't no telling right now. But they definitely are young. So it's kind of impressive that they're so good, actually, with these young boys. But then I looked up the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm thinking
Exactly what I'm looking up now.
Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm really thinking it's Drew Holiday, even though he ain't the oldest guy. But they also got George Hill over there.
Yeah, it's between George Hill and Wes Matthews.
Yeah, but I think they probably listen to Drew like that too. Drew seemed very vocal and knowledgeable. A great defender and stuff. People usually listen to great defenders more than anything for some reason. I feel like when you're a good defender, like you might not be a great scorer, but if you know how to stop great scores, you basically know two things. I feel like. But I mean, I don't know. What do I know? I'm only a pretty good defender. So I'm really thinking it's Drew Holiday. But you like you said, George Hill, Wes Matthews is on the bench too. George Hill seemed like a good leader too. I think he was one of the leaders of those Indiana Pacer teams back in the day with Paul George. So
he was on the pop, so you know how that go down.
Right. So I think those guys up there too. But yeah, man, that just wanted to show that. It's been a long day. I just want to show that he's out here, but they ain't out here.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, man, like on a more local level, do you feel like the younger players, like mainly let's just go high school and down, do you feel like are they missing some of that leadership and that veteranship guidance, or are they there and it's just like, I don't know, how do you feel about the veteran and leadership presence as it pertains to high school guys and high school players and whatever going down?
Well, in high school and college, you gonna have more than certainly have like seniors. Like it's like a given. So you gonna have guys that have more experience than your freshmen and sophomores. But I do think it's very important. So funny story about me, my junior year of high school, we had 5 seniors on the team. None of the 5 started. None of them. All 5 of our varsity starters, juniors and sophomores. And deservedly so, believe it or not. Like, they just were not better than the guys coming in front of them. So and I was one of those guys. I was a junior. I started in front of one of those seniors. And, you feel kind of bad being in my position because you like, man, this is last year. He not playing like that. Like, and I'm getting all the minutes. Like, you feel bad because it's like, man, like he don't deserve to not be playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he been here 4 years, but like the truth of the matter was I was better than him. The truth of the matter. So I had to just be, I had to play with that. Like yeah, I mean, I deserve to start based on my talent. So that's just what it is. But that I'm sure they had some kind of like, I'm sure they weren't happy about it, obviously. But I never sensed any kind of animosity or like anger from them. They never like held any malcontent towards us. Like they very easily could have like shut down. Like, oh, okay, I'm not starting. I'm a senior. Like, forget it. Like, I don't care no more. They never had those kind of attitudes. They were still supportive of us. He's playing in front of them. Like, they still, offered advice whenever they could. Like, they were good about it. They were good sports and good, teammates about it towards us. And so, I appreciate them for that. But my freshman year of college, same thing happened. I ended up starting in front of a sophomore. I believe I told the story on here before about how he was set to start in front of me in the beginning, but he missed class before the first game of the season. And my coach decided to start me as a punishment for him. And I never looked back. Like I took the opportunity, I ran with it. He never showed me any kind of hate or animosity. So um those I feel like those are things that probably do come with age. Like getting older, you realize like, okay, this guy probably does deserve to start in front of me or be in front of me. Like, I feel like that comes with age. Like I'm sure, like I said, I know they wasn't happy. I'm like, that's not even a question. Like nobody wants to not be starting last year in a place, whether it be your senior year of high school, sophomore year of JUCO, senior year of college, whatever. Like nobody wants to not be starting, but they never let that get to them when it came to me. When it came to like showing me things, teaching me things, supporting me, cheering for me, they never let it affect them. And so I definitely believe that comes with age, and that was in a way their veteran leadership to me. Like it was bigger than the game for them. So like it was bigger than me. Like it's bigger than just like who should be starting. It's like we for the team we need to do like this is what we need to do to be good. So this is what we did. And so I appreciate them for that. And I think without that, like if they would have not shown me love and not been cool with me or showed me support supported me being in front of them, I think that would have really like hurt my growth as a player. Like I think I would have like being who I was at that age, I think I would have been like, I mean, I don't know if I should play. Like I don't know if I should be in front of him. Like, of course I want to start, but like, should I tell coach to let him start? Should I tell coach to like to bring me off the bench? Like if they would have made it a bad thing, who knows what like I don't know. Like they would have been went to coach like, nah, if you're gonna start him, like I quit. Or uh if you play him in front of me, like you might well couldn't keep me on the team, or it's either him or me, anything like that. Like who knows what could have happened if they did that. I mean, but them doing that was a lesson in itself. Like it's bigger than us. Like when you want to start, I want to start. May the best man win in coach's eyes, and then whoever win, just respect that and play and just do the best you can for the team and your role and your position. And that's what they did. So veteran leadership is still important, even if you're not the best player or the best person at that position. Your veteran leadership and what you bring to the team is still important. I try to bring some of that to my team now because I like. It's funny we was talking about the J. Cole middle child earlier before we actually started recording because like I really be feeling like big bro and little bro at the same time. Like Cole said, feel like the big bro and little bro all at once. Because I'm a senior now. This is my fourth year, but I also have a fifth year to play basketball because of COVID. So we have some fifth year seniors on the team. Three of them. Well, two now. They have been my leaders since I got here. Because when I got here, they were seniors. Now they fifth year seniors. So they are still my lead. DP, Hunter, and then my guy Ant, Lord rest his soul, when he was still with us. To the things that they told me. And, but now I have experience in the league, and now I'm in my senior year, and there's the younger guys that look up to me like their leader. So now I'm in a position of like I'm like he's like I said, I'm big bro and little bro. Like these my guys over here, these my leaders over here. But here are some guys on this side who I'm also like set to lead. So it's an interesting position to be in. And my coach he always tells me, Nelson, keep the guys positive. Like when things go wrong, we lose a tough game or a big game, like Nelson, it's on you to keep those guys positive, keep their heads up. And when he tell me stuff like that, he don't know it, but when he tell me stuff like that, I'll be really like, I'd be like, man, what am I supposed to do? Like, what I say? what I say? We just lost. Like, he talking about keep it positive, man. I ain't positive, but way like I'm that glue guy now. Like, hey, I got Hunter Preston over here. Who is still a great leader. This is his 5th year. He's still a leader for our team. He's one of my guys. He's the OG on the team right now, and he's our best player, first team all conference player. And sometimes guys don't want to listen to him. Just being real, like the way he comes off, something they want to listen to. I guess I should say. But then you have me, who's still a leader. I'm still a good player and a leader, but not in the same position as him to where like I need to be scoring all the points, or I need to be the best player every night for us to win. So I still have the ability to go to guys like, hey man, you know how it is, this and this and this. Don't let this get to you. Just do this, just do that. You good. I can do that. Now, have I had to yell at some guys? Like, have I had to get mad and like whatever? Yeah, but most time it's enough to go to guys and be like, hey, you good? Just make sure next time you do this. Good with that. I feel like that's why coach puts that on me. Like, hey man, so you to keep them guys positive. I'm do the best I can, coach. That's what I tell them every time. So like it's interesting to be in this position now to be like, and then next year I'll come back, I'll be a 5th-year senior. Now you talking about me being the real OG, like 3rd year in the league. Like I know how it goes. I've won awards now. Like I've been like proven. Now I'm really like established in the league at this point, which is weird to say that. It just happened, but I'm at a point now where I'm established in the league. So now it's like guys have to listen to me. Like I prove my worth is proven. Like I've proven to put the work in. I'm somebody who's knows. I know something. Let me just say that I know something. I ain't telling you nothing for no reason. So, do I think is like somewhat lost on people now on this level? Nah, because you kind of forced to have somebody. Like, do that necessarily mean your seniors are gonna be leaders or whatever? No, you can't make somebody a leader. Either they are or they not. But if you don't have senior leadership, it will definitely hurt you, or veteran leadership on your team. And last thing on that I say, my teammate Anthony, who passed away this season, he was our oldest player. He was 24, I want to say, just turned 25, and we used to make fun of him for being old because he was at JUCO for a year at JUCO. Next year, grades weren't good enough to play, and then he came to CSU, and then so he had the red shirt to get his grades right, and then he played 2 years, and then his second year was COVID. So then he got that year back, which was last year. So he got that year back, so he came back this year. So not only did he play JUCO basketball, he got 4 years at Columbus State University. Make fun of him for being old all the time. Like, y'all know Ant 30. Y'all know Ant 45 still in college. Y'all know Ant been at CSU 4 years. He still ain't graduated. This and this. Like, we used to make fun of him all the time for that. But lo and behold, when he left us and passed away. If I didn't miss that veteranism that he brought, like I missed that. Like, and I told my coach, I said, "Boy, we used to make fun of Ant for being old, but I wish he was here now." Like, cause now we got young guys in his spot. Know it as well. Don't play it as well. And I'm a guy that loves defense. I'm the defensive anchor. I'm telling people where to go, and they don't do it right. Time at least. We did a lot better at this point. This is he passed away in Christmas Eve, so this back in January. So we doing everything we can. Like I'm doing everything I can to make sure guys in the right spot. They not getting it at the moment. They not doing it right at the moment. And I'm looking around like would have been Ant at that position. And I know he would have known what to do. Like I wouldn't even have to tell him that. We don't have that no more. I know more than most people. They have veteran leadership around. Like, and like I know what it's like to have it and then not have it nowhere. That hurt our team for a long time. Like it took a while for us to regroup and find people to play that spot and figure some things out. But eventually we did band together and figure it out and we got rolling again. But it's tough, man. It's tough to have somebody in a certain spot who knows what to do, knows how things go, understands the concepts of the team, what we looking for, what we trying to do, all of that. Have all of that player. Not have it anymore, and all of a sudden have to put guys that don't have none of that in that position. Like, hey, we need you. We like it's like throwing too much information at somebody at once. Had been here 4 years. He knew everything. Playing for Coach Moore. Coach Moore he'd been playing for Coach Moore all 4 of those years. So he had the same head coach running the same schemes, the same systems, same plays for 4 years. He got a point now, like he don't need to be told much. He need to be reminded. He told or taught nothing. He just need to be reminded every year. And then he got it. And then now we putting guys in that place and we got to teach them. So it was tough for a while. And I remember leaving them practices like, woof. Boy, I miss Ant. Missed Ant as a basketball player, missed him as a person, everything. Teammate. Like I feel like I'm in a rare position to know what it's like to know you do need that. And we made fun of my boy for being old, but boy, somebody need to be old now. Like I wish y'all was a little bit old. Like you ain't gotta be old, but I wish some of y'all in the room was a little bit old. Cause man, it was tough. So that's just one of them things, man. So veteran leadership, like y'all don't feel bad for me that I feel like that was kind of a sad story. I don't want to bring the mood down, but you know what I'm saying? Like veteran leadership is valuable. You cannot put a price tag on it. Like you cannot say like, and Ant was a great player. I'm not saying he wasn't good. Like Ant was a starter for us. He was a great player in itself. Like he wasn't just somebody who knew what to do with no talent. Like he had both. But his veteran leadership was like just as or even more valuable, if not more valuable, his actual talent. Because he was always in the right spots. He knew what to do, knew the rotations, knew the plays, knew how to get to his spot, understood all of that. He really was at a point where like he knew his game, he knew what was expected out of him, and he could go out there and do it. It's just one of them things, man. Like, listen to your elders. I guess I guess that's the theme of the podcast. Listen to your elders, man. Because I like everything Ant told to me on the court. Like, I definitely listened to him. Same thing with Hunter, DP. Like they word mean something to me. Like I don't just like block them out at all. Like everything they say, I take into consideration, whether they know it or not. And so I guess next year that's gonna be me. Like I'll be that guy. Like everything I say gonna mean something at a certain point. Like so I guess I need to be preparing for that because like next year I guess I'll be the OG. I'll have been here 3 years. I'll have had a good year. So no, we'll see. We'll see where that takes me, but it's coming though.
I had like 3 different follow-up questions. And I forgot like 2 of them. But we can speak to the middle child point. So this guy, he's kind of like my mentor since being leadership, the guy I follow. He made a point a couple of times where he was like, you never want to get to a point where they know it all. You always want to be, he didn't say middle child, but continuing with our theme of this point, you want to always be the middle child. You always want to have a OG, a mentor putting into you. And you always want to have somebody that you're the OG for that you're putting into. So um, that's not, of course, that's just not in basketball. That's in life. You always want to be that middle child where you have some other figure that's older than you that can put into you, give you game, that has been where you've been or they are where you're trying to get to, that can, make an addition to your life. But then you also want to have someone that you're the OG for, that you are where they're trying to get to, and you are in the position that they were in. So whatever that OG was to you, you want to be that to them. And in life, you want to have that balance, because um, if you only have people that are looking up to you, that you're the mentor of, you can get the big head and you can get off track sometimes, and you can feel like you're the know-it-all, you're the smartest person in the room, and you shouldn't have to go up any further and go up any higher. But you get humble real quick when you get that mentor and be like, bro, you don't know nothing. Look at this. You're like, oh snap, I don't know anything. All right, let me get back to work. Or on the other end of it, you might have a mentor, you don't have anybody else that you're pouring into, and you can lose some of that fire and that motivation, or you get stagnant to where it's like, I've mastered this lane, but you only see this next generation coming up, and it's like, bro, you know about crypto, you know about NFTs, you know about Bitcoin. Excuse me, what are you talking about? And it's a whole new thing that you just caught off guard about. Our parents didn't know nothing about the internet. And we came up in here like, hey man, this website and this and MySpace and blah 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 blah. And it's like, whoa, time out. What are you talking about? What is this? What's this www.worldwideweb.com? What is this? And they needed that new fire up in them to get them a new direction. And so you need that balance, because that always one pushes you further and one humbles you. Whichever one pushes you and humbles you, depending on who you are and stuff. But we always need that balance of being the middle child. And so with the NBA, going back to basketball, you always want to have the prime time talent. You always want to have your superstar being that guy. Hopefully he's in his prime years, which is usually about late 20s, early 30s. So about 25 to 33. 33 is kind of pushing it, but usually around that range. You want to have the OGs that are sticking with that time, 33 plus. So Udonis Haslam, Jared Dudley's, D Fish, all those guys who are vets that probably aren't playing as much, they're playing the role players, whatever. And then you want to have the young guys who you are grooming up to be the prime time guys. So when D Wade fell off and he transitioned to being more of a role player, he became the OG and the vet. He was like, yo, young bucks, this is how we roll in Miami. This is how things get done. This is how we move. This is how we don't move. Know this as a pro guy. This is what you got to, this is what you're looking at. But then you want to have the young Bams and the young Tyler Heroes that you're growing up, and it's like, hey, this is how things get done. You have the Jimmy Butler, who is the prime guy in the middle, he's a middle child. I'm taking knowledge from D Wade, but I'm giving knowledge to Tyler. I'm giving knowledge to Bam. I'm giving knowledge to whoever else is, on the roster at that time. So that's my little life nugget, man. Like I always want to be in that balance. I'm trying to figure out that for me too. As a trainer, I'm the middle child. I'm giving game to my players and stuff. I don't have anybody that's just like specifically like a protege or nothing. At least not for training. I am definitely in that position. But but as far as training goes, I give my game to them, trying to help them out a little bit. But I don't have anybody that's like little bro, you know what I mean, hit me up and I just take them out and all that stuff. But I do have some level of a mentee. And then within life, I have certain mentors and everything. And within business, I'm still trying to figure that out. But I'm still a middle child, figuring out that balance and having that push and pull of leadership and guidance given to me. And with that, takes me to my last question I want to ask you, man. It's a little different of a question, but who are some OGs and mentors in your life that you want to shout out? Not just in basketball, but like in life, that like, man, this person stepped into my life and really made a difference for me. And I know for a fact, man, I'll be Nelson, but the Nelson y'all know now will not be here in the same spot if it wasn't for this man or this woman that really just like changed my life. Either they put a whole new GPS and redirected me in this direction, or they put a battery in my back that was just like, yo, I can go. Like, so who was that person for you that is a mentor, was a mentor at the time that just, changed the game for you?
That's an interesting question.
I try to bring those to the podcast, brother.
That's good, bro. But oh well, what I don't want to do is not name somebody, and then people be like, "Oh, I guess he didn't care about me for real." But for some people, I can say definitively that impacted my life.
Besides your dad, like we know, like your mom and dad, they don't count.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to go there either, but of course they obviously.
Yeah, before we
But
can start, we love y'all mom and dad. Let's just
yeah, of course, like yeah, y'all, of course, y'all, everything y'all do with me, y'all, yeah.
yeah. Y'all the real
But,
MVPs, all that good stuff.
I had to say my pastor, I guess my former pastor, because he's not at my church anymore, but he's still my pastor, Pastor D'Ari Smith. That's my guy. He definitely been like a big bro to me. Like he became pastor at my church when I was 8 or 9, and I remember when he first became pastor, I was like standoffish on him because like I had the same pastor since like I've been born. Uh, and then he left the church. And then this new guy come in. They didn't do the whole voting process or whatever, but this new guy come in. He became pastor, and I was like, man, this ain't the pastor I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. But like, he kind of like he took it on upon himself. Cause I've always been involved in the church, but he took it upon himself to like, was like, get to know me. He was like, yeah, I know you do a lot around here. Like he even went so far like, I'm gonna need you around here, man. You need you to keep it right, and why, like, take care of things, help me take care of things around here. I'm like, cool. Like the fact that he acknowledged me was cool to me. So I'm like, okay. We become friends. Like we real cool friends. So he's still my pastor, obviously, but we get to be friends, like on a level, like not just like he my pastor, like like of course I respect him like a pastor, but we talking like me and him talk like me and you, like talk about anything, whether it be school, basketball, like girls, like my personal life, anything. I can talk to him about anything. So he really became a very big brother mentor in my life because like I could talk to him about things like I wouldn't think I would be conversating with my pastor about. Let's just say, because he been where I've been. Like he been in college. Like he been young. This and this and that. He only like how old is he now? I want to say he only 32, 33. He not old. Like he not an older pastor. When he came in, he was in his 20s and single. That was different for a Southern Baptist church. You know what I'm saying? That was like different. I remember some people was like standoffish to him because he was like, "We want a young single pastor. Like, we don't want him to be married and established and this and this." You know what I'm saying? But so he came in that way. I related to him on that note. Like he was younger. I'm a kid, but he was young, so he could relate to me and knew how to talk to me and stuff like that. Like he was cool. He definitely became one of the mentors in my life. Second, I remember I told you a story about my AAU coach, Coach D Knox, Lord rest his soul, that he was one of the first people that really put in my head that I could play college basketball. And so I really appreciated him for that. So he kind of put me on a better path. Like not that I wanted to do it, but he really set my mind to it. Like, oh, I can, if he believe I can do it as much basketball he been around, then obviously I can. It must be true. So he really helped me believe in myself. And then I got to go with my head coach here, Coach Moore. Actually, I wouldn't say he's a mentor to me, but he's taught me so much inadvertently. Like, and it's crazy because Coach really get on my nerves. Like some of the stuff he be saying and things he be doing, it could get on your nerves if you let it. But if you get past all of that, see everything he know about the game. Like all of my coaches have taught me something different from high school all up to now. But he really was like past summer. I tell the story now because it's funny. I was telling my assistant coach about this yesterday, but this past summer, this is the last story I'm gonna tell. I feel like I'm running over with the stories, but this past summer had a big on our team. Came in behind me, an older guy behind me, and at the end of the year he decided to leave, and so we didn't have a backup big. So I started. Me and Hunter both started. We're also the only two players left who could play the 5 spot after he left. So we basically had 2 5s, 2 centers. Both of us started. Clint played the 4 and the 5. I played strictly the 5. So now we only got 2 guys who can play that spot, and both of them are starters. So now our coach would either have to find another big, another center, or possibly find like another forward, and then one of us come off the bench, something like that. So that was our option that we thought. So in the summertime, Coach Moore, he decides, the big placement for him, 2 best bigs in the league right here, right now. That's what he said. That's good. Like I like it's different for him to say that. Like if I would have said that, I'm just, it's just me talking. But for him to really say 2 best bigs in the league right here, I don't need to go get nobody. I got y'all. Like what I need anybody else for? Want to get nobody? We good right here. Like 2 best bigs in the league, and like that was weird to me because I'm like, I feel like I haven't done nothing, which I really kind of haven't. But Hunter was second team all conference. We felt like he should have been first. Like he established in the league. Man, he coming back. He talking about me and Hunter. Like he got the 2 best bigs in the league, and I'm like, I ain't did nothing. Like I averaged 4 last year, literally 4. I had some better games, but I averaged 4 for the whole year. I played 12 games. Coach, like genuinely and firmly believed I would be one of the best bigs in the league, along with Hunter. So he doubled down on that and he bet on us. Like, y'all got it. Y'all good. I don't need nobody else. I got y'all too. I'm riding with y'all. And that's what he did. And then there was times going into the season, I'm sure he thought like, did I make a mistake, or do I need to start Hunter and bring Nelson off the bench or whatever? And then I progressively got better. He realized like, yeah, I'm good. Like start both of them. We'll rotate them. We'll figure it out. I got the 2 best bigs in the league. And so as the season went on, we proved him right because ended up getting first team all conference, and I ended up being defensive player of the year in the end of everything. So, we proved him to be right that he had the 2 best bigs in the league. One of the best offensive bigs, best defensive bigs, playing side by side the whole time. So he really like spoke that into existence. Same way I spoke being defensive player of the year into existence. He spoke having the 2 best bigs in the league into existence. And I'm glad and I'm happy that I got to prove him right, because him saying that and doubling down on me and betting on us, that made me work even harder because I'm like, I cannot let him be wrong. It meant even more to me that he said that about me, like not just for myself, but also for him. Like this man bet on me, like whole season, literally. Did not go get another big, bring another big in here on a visit that I saw. Any other guards and whatnot and forwards and scores, but never saw this man bring a 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", nothing through the door. It's like he just was like, nah, we good. We ride with them. And so that made me work even harder. Like him betting on me, telling me like I was gonna be one of the best bigs in the league, telling us that we were all he needed. I couldn't let this man be wrong. And so he definitely, so I don't know if that counts as him being a mentor to me, but he made me better, like made me work. Like he had to tell me. He didn't have to tell me to get in the gym. He didn't have to tell me to be better. Then he had to tell me that I was gonna have to be good for our season to go good. I knew that. Like he let me rock. Like I ain't saying he never corrected me or nothing, obviously, but like this was a man that was willing to bet his season, like on me developing and becoming a better player. And so I'm glad that in the end we proved him right. That in the end, you know, we got something out of it, even if we didn't win our conference championship. We proved that we were the best bigs in this league on the same team at the same time. And can't nobody really deny it at this point. Now you talking about a first team all conference big. So he won the best offensive big, literally, or best all around, whatever, however you want to quantify that, and the defensive player of the year on the same team, starting at the 4 and the 5. Like, can't nobody else say that. That's just something he did for me to change, possibly change the trajectory of my career. And you know, who knows from where this might take me from here. Like, you know, obviously I want to play professionally, and this might have catapulted me in the right direction. So it's just one of them things.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Because I would count that because sometimes a mentor isn't somebody that's just like, hey, come under my wing. Sometimes it's just somebody that you're under that can, like I said before, just guide you in our direction. So or put the battery in your back, because I have people in my life that's kind of like that too. And so like I said before, you wouldn't be the person that you are today, or you possibly wouldn't be the person that you are today if it wasn't for him saying and doing that, you know. So I would definitely count that as a mentor, man. So what's up, man? Yeah, that was a good one.
Huh?
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, man. Got a lot of stories. So I hope somebody appreciate it.
I know your coach do. If nobody else do, I know he do.
He been around for a long time. That's another thing that made me respect it. He been coaching here for over 10 years. Been coaching period for over 30. So he knows something. He don't know nothing.
Yeah.
It's just like I respect him greatly. And like I take everything he says seriously. Like even like I said, he get on my nerves a lot. Gotta be around him to know. But the things he say when he really talking about basketball, like, you know, trying to give me advice about certain things, I take it as law. Like I know he know. Like and things he be saying be coming to pass. Like even like deep in the future. Like but that comes with the experience that he had. Like he knows so much. He been around the block a few times. He can tell what's gonna happen. I remember last year we played our first game in January because of COVID and everything was backed up. And we played a school called Pembroke, who was one of the better teams in our league, and he knew we was gonna lose. He told our assistant coach, like, we gonna get smacked by Pembroke. We're not ready to play. They had played multiple games. We hadn't played none. And you know, we have been practicing hard and all that, but they got everything over us. Experience, chemistry. They've been playing already. They like we're gonna lose. And this is a good team. This is not no screw up team. This is a good team. So we finna take this L, but that's okay. And then we went down there, we got smacked. So he knew. Like things, he just be knowing things because he been there before. So you know what I'm saying, that he was gonna bet on me and Hunter. must have knew something. He's saying this for no reason. So here we are. Anything else you want to throw in there, man? Because my AirPods are currently dying.
That's it. I was gonna ask you got anything else because that's it for me.
Nah, I'm good. So I'm glad we got all that out there. I hope y'all appreciate it. But that does it for another episode of the BeBall Jones podcast with Nelson Haskins. We appreciate y'all for listening to another one. Be sure to follow Brian on all social medias at BeBall Jones. That's BeBall Jones on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at NellyH34. Follow me on Instagram at Nelson.Haskins. Be sure to go follow the new BeBall Jones podcast TikTok label just like that, the BeBall Jones podcast on TikTok. Go ahead and check us out. Like the videos we already got on there. Give them a look, share them with your friends, all that good stuff. And so, hope y'all got something out of it. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And then next week, man, for another episode. Without further ado, man, once again, we appreciate y'all for listening. And we out.